Last time, did we start with kirtan or did we go straight?
We didn't, but if you would like to start today, it would be nice.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
We're
why don't we
still
start
waiting
with
for
kirtan?
Aiste, who's going. Yeah, okay.
So we're waiting for people to come.
Yes. And
we-
Aiste, who's going to translate, is also on her way.
Who is?
Aiste, what was her spiritual name? Radha Priya, I think.
Anuradha Priya.
Anuradha Priya, thank you.
Yeah, she's the translator. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Shamini Tinamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvise Sasanyavadi Paschachida Satarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shadvaita Gadadhar Shri Vashari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay, I'm inviting everyone to dance because dancing is good for you. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time, everyone together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Do you hear a buzzing? Oh, okay, good. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Shamini Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pracharine Nirvise Sasanyabadi Paschati Dasatayane. Welcome to all of you.
Sveiki
Present
atvykę
here.
visi.
We're present on Facebook or wherever you are.
Visi, kurie yra Facebook'e ar kur beklausytumėt.
So the way we decided to conduct this was we have questions.
Taigi mes nusprendėme, kad tai bus klausimų ir atsakymų sesija.
But I would like to ask Christe to choose the questions because maybe there's some order to them. Actually, I haven't even read them. But it's not unlike me to be spontaneous. But I was just giving a class, so I want to tell you what we talked about in that class because it relates to this.
Aš dabar spontaniškai tiesiog ką tik skaičiau paskaitą, tai noriu papasakoti jums apie ką tai buvo.
And the class was about part of the class was about how to understand Shastric knowledge.
Dalis paskaitos buvo apie tai, kaip suprasti šastrų tiesas.
And so the discussion came up that sometimes you approach the Shastra because of an imbalance in yourself. You're already inclined to think a certain way, either on one side of an issue or one side.
Kartais pati priežastis, kodėl mes atsiverčiame šastras, yra tiesiog dvejonės savimi ir ar neteisingas kažkoks mąstymas, tai mes jau esame linkę priimti šastras vienu ar kitu būdu pagal savo supratimą.
So if you want to understand something and your mind's already made up, it's hard to understand if there's any other way to understand it.
Taigi, jeigu atsiverčiate šastras jau būdami apsisprendę dėl savo tiesos, tai jums yra sunku priimti kitą tiesą.
And so that's an aspect of being out of balance.
Tai yra vienas iš požymių, kad esate praradę harmoniją.
Or sometimes, has this ever happened to you? You read something and you can't accept it. It's just like your whole world is completely shaken up. They didn't go to the moon. Oh, I can't accept it. Or women are this. I can't accept it. Or democracy is this. I can't accept it.
Ar jums yra kada taip nutikę, kad jūs kažką perskaitote ir nusprendžiate, kad negalite to priimti? Pavyzdžiui, moterys yra tokios ir tokios. Ne, aš to nepriimsiu. Arba ten, demokratija yra tas ir tas. Ne, negaliu to priimti.
So it's because we're kind of leaning in some way out of balance that sometimes a statement can throw us even more out of balance.
Jeigu mes esame linkę jau ir taip į kažkurią pusę šališkai linkti, tai kažkoks tai kitas teiginys mus dar labiau išveda iš pusiausvyros.
So balance means taking in consideration all things and finding a truth that we can apply that leads us to Krishna.
Taigi, pusiausvyra reiškia priimti, išgirsti visus dalykus ir taikyti tą tiesą, kuri nuves mus pas Krishną.
So let's start from that point. That balance means you are able to look at all sides of an issue and come to a conclusion which will help you in your Krishna consciousness.
Taigi, pradėkime nuo to atspirties taško, kad pusiausvyra yra tai, kad jūs į dalyką galite pasižiūrėti iš skirtingų pusių ir priimti tokį sprendimą, kuris ves jūs pas Krishną.
And also help the community, because you may understand something you think is balanced, and it may not be balanced. It's balanced to you, but it upsets others. It upsets equilibrium in the community.
Taip pat svarbu, kad ta tiesa būtų priimtina visai bendruomeniai, nes kartais jūs pasirenkate tiesą, kuri yra tiesa tik jums, bet tai nėra tiesa visai bendruomeniai.
For example, let's say I had a horrible marriage.
Na, pavyzdžiui, tarkime, aš turėjau labai blogą santuoką.
And I give a class on the Bhagavatam, and the Bhagavatam is about marriage.
Na ir štai man teko skaityti Bhagavatam paskaitą, kurios tema santuoka.
So I've kind of made peace with marriage myself, and I decided, well, that marriage was so difficult. I don't think maybe I'm not meant to be married, or I don't want to marry again. I'm just not the right person to be married. That's my personal balance for me, but it's not balanced for everybody else necessarily.
Taigi aš pasidariau išvadas apie savo santuoką, nusprendžiau, kad mano santuoka buvo tikrai ne tokia, kokia turi būti, arba aš esu tiesiog netinkamas santuokai, bet ta tiesa nėra universali visiems.
So also, we need to understand what's balanced in our life may not be necessarily the way everyone should live, and we don't want to force that on people, as sometimes we've seen done in classes where they're more autobiographical than Siddhanta.
Taigi kartais mes nusprendžiame, kurių tiesų mes laikysimės, bet jos neturi būti taikomos visiems, visai bendruomeniai, nes kartais tos paskaitos nereikia versti kitų laikytis savo tiesų, nes kartais jos yra daugiau autobiografinės negu Siddhanta paremtos.
You understand?
Ar suprantat?
It's like this is how I feel, and I can't necessarily say that everyone should feel that way, but this is how I've resolved it for myself. But that may not be good for everybody.
Tai yra tai, kaip aš jaučiuosi, nes aš radau tokį sprendimą savo, bet tai nebūtinai yra taikytina visiems.
So we have balance for myself. We have way to speak or share Krishna consciousness in a way that will encourage and accommodate everyone to go forward. That's the most balanced approach of spreading Krishna consciousness.
Taigi iš tikrųjų harmoningas santykis su pamokslavimu, mes turėtume pasirinkti tokius pamokslavimo žodžius ir tiesas, kurie padėtų ir būtų universalūs visai bendruomeniai.
One other thing I want to say before we start the questions.
Dar vienas dalykas, ką norėčiau paminėti prieš pradedant atsakinėti į klausimus.
This is balance. This is out of balance.
Taigi, taip yra pusiausvyra ir va taip yra nepusiausvyra.
Our goal is not to be in balance. Our goal is to be a little out of balance towards Krishna.
Bet mūsų galutinis tikslas iš tikrųjų nėra būti pusiausvyroje. Mūsų tikslas būti šiek tiek išėjus iš pusiausvyros į Krishnos pusę.
Because if everything's in balance, then Krishna may not be more important than anything else. It's just equally important, and we don't want that kind of balance.
Nes jeigu viskas pas mus pusiausvyroje, tai Krishna gali tapti tik netokiu svarbiu, tik vienu iš mūsų pusiausvyros tobulų elementų, o mes to nenorime.
I have my sadhana, I have my job, I have my exercise, I have my recreation, I have my finances, and then I balance it all, then my sadhana and service may only get 1 point, and they become equal with the others. That's not always the best thing.
Jeigu viską tobulai subalansuojate savo gyvenimą, viskam randate savo vietą, štai čia mano sadhana, mano džapa, finansai, sportas ir taip toliau, tai sadhana tampa tik vienu iš lygių elementų, vienodos vertės tarp visų, ir mes to nenorime.
Like this is good, a little bit like this.
Taip yra gerai.
And if you're married, this is not good, because then it's all service and nothing material, and you'll end up divorced in like 3 days.
O taip, jeigu jūs susituokia, tai tas jau pusiausvyros taškas netenka prasmės, nes jūs tada visą savo laiką skirsite vien tarnystei ir nieko neskirsite santuokai ir išsiskirsite už 3 dienų.
And your wife or your husband and kids will say, we want to talk to you. I have no time, service. Today I'm chanting 64 rounds, and then I'm washing all the pots at the temple. I'll see you tomorrow. And so that can create problems. That's out of balance. That would create problems.
Įsivaizduokite, jūsų žmona ar vaikai sako mums, mes norime su tavimi pasikalbėti, o jūs sakote, ne, šiandien aš kartoju 64 ratus ir paskui eisiu į šventyklą, neturiu laiko. Tai čia nėra pusiausvyra, tai negeras sprendimas.
The other side is, I've done so much service in my life, I'm not going to do anymore, I'm just going to enjoy. So that's, obviously you don't want that either.
Kitas kraštutinumas yra sakyti, kad jau aš prisitarnavau gyvenime, dabar aš noriu tiesiog mėgautis. Tai irgi nėra pusiausvyra ir nėra gerai.
Yeah. So being out of balance creates many problems. It creates problems in understanding our philosophy. It creates problems in relationships. It creates problems in your life. It creates problems in the community.
Taigi pusiausvyros nebuvimas kelia daugybę problemų tiek jūsų gyvenime, filosofijoje, tiek visai bendruomeniai.
And it creates problems in marriage.
Ir taip pat santuokoje.
I have seen personally.
Mačiau tai asmeniškai.
Okay, so that's the introduction. Sets a foundation. Now we'll take the questions.
Tai buvo įžanga, taigi dabar noriu atsakyti į klausimus. Prašom užduoti.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. So, the first, should I post the questions in the chat as well, or should we just ask them out
that's
loud?
good. You can.
Yeah. Okay.
In
So
both
then
wa-
the first question, let me just copy it and then I can read it to you as well. The first question is how to make 16 rounds your number one priority and to chant quality rounds in the morning when one has family, job, and kids. What helps to stay inspired in Krishna consciousness under these circumstances?
Oh yeah, that's easy.
Should we translate it before I
Yeah,
go?
translate it. Yeah.
Gerai, aš perskaitysiu kaip čia. Tai
Gerai.
klausimas čia, kaip savo 16 ratų laikyti pirmoje vietoje ir kokybiškai sukartoti ryte, kai yra šeima, darbas ir vaikai. Man, kas padeda likti įsikvėpus Krišnos sąmonės veiklai tokioje padėtyje?
Yeah, that answer is easy. Just stop sleeping. You'll have no problem.
Tai labai lengvas atsakymas, reikia tiesiog nustoti miegoti, jokių problemų nebeliks.
The more, I just can speak from my personal experience, the more there is obstacles to doing your sadhana, the more determination you need to do it.
Galiu pasakyti iš savo asmeninio pavyzdžio, kad kuo daugiau kliūčių atsiranda sadhanos kelyje, tuo daugiau pasiryžimo reikia.
I'm so busy, I have no time for sadhana.
Aš toks užimtas, neturiu laiko sadhanai.
What I advise you to do is pray to Krishna. Say, please give me intelligence how I can manage all of this.
Tai aš jums patariu šiuo klausimu kreiptis į Krišną ir prašyti, prašau, duok man intelekto suvokimo, kaip tai suderinti.
And this is also, a warning to single people who want to get initiated or who are initiated, who are going to get married. The responsibilities, increase, especially when you have kids. And it takes a lot of time.
Ir tai yra įspėjimas vienišiems baktams, kad kai jūs sukursite šeimą ir būsite inicijuoti, tai iš jūsų tai pareikalaus daugiau pastangų.
So, I don't think we should run away from the obstacles or make excuses about them.
Nemanau, kad turėtume vengti kliūčių ar bandyti pasinaudoti jomis kaip excuses, kaip I forgot the word. Na,
Run away or make excuses.
Pretekstų, yes, just Lithuanian. Kaip pretekstų nieko nedaryti.
Go away, run away. A good analogy is you're riding your bike and you see the hill coming up in the distance. So what do? You have two choices. Get off your bike and go, wow, I can't ride up that hill. Or start cycling faster so you get speed so you can ride up it.
Taigi labai panašu analogija būtų, kaip jūs važiuojate dviračiu ir priešais pamatote kalną ir jūs turite du pasirinkimus. Arba nulipti nuo dviračio ir pasiduoti, kad vis tiek neužvažiuosite į tą kalną, arba pradėti stipriau minti pedalus ir pasiruošti važiavimui į kalnę.
And basically, those are the two things we do.
Tai yra būtent tie du dalykai, kuriuos darome.
When obstacles are there, you either try harder or you give up. Isn't it a fact?
Argi tai nėra faktas. Kai jūs susidurite su kliūtimis, tai jūs arba pasiduodate, arba stengiatės dar labiau.
So what I found works best is when things are more difficult, like you have more responsibilities, you just think, I'm going to need new strategies and new energy and new determination because this is going to be more difficult than it was in the past. That's how I think.
Tai kaip aš manau, tai kai jums ateina į gyvenimą daugiau sunkumų, tai reikėtų tiesiog galvoti, kad man reikės išrasti naują strategiją, kaip su viskuo tvarkytis.
So what does the football team do when they're, in the World Cup and they figure that other team is better than them? They just go out to the bar and party and figure, well, what's the use? Or are they out there practicing twice as hard as the other team?
Taigi, ką daro futbolo komanda, kai jie atvyksta į pasaulio čempionatą ir pamato, kad kita komanda yra geresnė už juos, tai ką jie eina į barą ir sako, koks šis skirtumas, jau vis tiek mus nugalės, ar ne, jie treniruojasi dvigubai daugiau negu iki tol.
So I'm a firm believer in prayer.
Aš tvirtai tikiu malda.
And Krishna giving intelligence, how to do what's difficult.
Kaip Krishna gali duoti jums intelekto, kaip suderinti ir išspręsti savo sunkumus.
There are extenuating situations where sometimes a devotee has a job, 2 kids, and is going to school. And they're like sleeping 4 hours a night to maintain that. So obviously that situation, temporarily, you're going to probably have to make some adjustment.
Būna ir ekstremalių situacijų, pavyzdžiui, kai Bhaktas turi darbą, eina į mokslus, turi 2 vaikus ir kad viską suderintų, jis miega po 4 valandas, tai akivaizdu, kad tai yra laikinas sprendimas ir reikės ieškoti kitų išeičių.
But my suggestion would be, if you ever have to get in a situation like that, just make sure it doesn't last long because it will destroy you. It could destroy your Krishna consciousness because you'll be neglecting it too much.
Mano patarimas, jeigu patenkate į tokią situaciją, tai stenkitės, kad ji kuo trumpiau tęstųsi, kadangi su laiku tai sunaikins jūsų Krishna sąmonę.
And then all of you who are not married, who are going to get married, should at least know that responsibilities increase. You may have less free time. There may be challenges. So it's good to enter Grihastha ashram aware of these things.
O tie, kurie dar nesate santuokoje, šeimoje, tai turite žinoti, kad kai susituoksite, tai jūsų atsakomybių bus daugiau ir jūs turėsite didesnį iššūkį derindami Grihasthos gyvenimą su savo sadhana.
All those romantic movies you have in your head of Grihastha life, you should try to erase them. Because it's basically just really practical. You need practical skills to live and work and raise a family. That's what you need. You don't need those movies. Those movies ruin it.
Visi tie romantiniai filmai, kuriuos matėte apie santuoką ir meilę, jie tikrai nepadeda, nes iš tikrųjų tai reikia labai praktinių įgūdžių, kaip valdyti savo šeimą ir gyvenimą.
I don't want to make it sound like it's all hard work and there's no affection and love and like that, but it's a lot of hard work also.
Nenoriu, kad susidarytumėte įspūdį, jog šeima tai jokio džiaugsmo ir vien tik tai vargas. Bus ir meilės, ir džiaugsmų, bet tai iš tikrųjų yra gana sunku.
When you're prepared for something, it's easier to do than if it comes as a shock and you weren't expecting it.
Jeigu esate pasiruošę kažkam, tai yra lengviau su tuo susidoroti, negu tuo atveju, kai ateina viskas užgriūna netikėtai.
Okay. Well, we have a similar question here, so I think we should take it now in the chat because it continues this line of thought.
Tai mes toliau turime panašų klausimą ir tai mes tęsime toliau. Hare Krishna Maharaj, noriu paklausti, kaip balansuoti dvasingumą tėvo ir motinos bei žmonos pareigas, žmonos ir vyro pareigas. Jeigu esu, kaip suprantu, jeigu esu vienintelė atsidavusi šeimoje.
So I'll read the English. how to balance spirituality with, I guess, taking care of my mother, work, taking care of kids, and I'm the only devotee in the house.
Mhm. Taip.
Oh, easy answer, Paramanan. Make them all devotees. Then your problem is over.
Lengvas atsakymas būtų paverskite visus savo šeimos narius atsidavusiais ir problemos išnyks.
Okay, we'll make an assumption that he already tried that and it didn't work.
Na gerai, darome prielaidą, kad tai jau buvo bandyta ir nesuveikė.
So, have you ever had this experience where you want to cut down your eating or you cut down your sleeping, so you cut it down for a few days and then it catches up to you, and one night you sleep like 46 hours to catch up, or you eat 3 jars of cookies? Yeah. Have you ever had that experience?
Ar kažkada turėjote patirtį, kai bandėte apriboti savo maistą, kažkokios dietos laikytis arba apriboti savo miegą ir galiausiai viskas baigėsi tuo, kad suvalgėte vieną dieną 3 kg sausainių arba miegojate 48 valandas be pertraukos?
Okay, so I can't see all of your faces, but there's about 10 of you I can see, and you're all smiling, which means, I guess that means yes, right?
10 veidų, kuriuos mačiau. 10 veidų, kuriuos matau kameroje, matau, kad jūs juokėtės, tai tikriausiai bandėte.
So, what you neglect comes back to haunt you, doesn't it?
Tai, ką jūs neigiate, grįžta atgal ir jūs persekioja, argi ne taip?
Yeah, so students are good at that, not really studying enough until a day or two before the exam, staying up all night.
Studentai yra įvaldę šitą dalyką, jie nesimoko piktybiškai, kol galiausiai lieka diena ar paskutinė naktis iki egzamino, tada pradeda mokytis.
We have responsibilities towards our family, spouses, children, even if they're not devotees. And if we neglect it, it'll come to haunt us. It'll become more of a problem.
Taigi mes nors ir mūsų sutuoktiniai vaikai šeima nėra atsidavusiai, mes vis tiek turime jiems pareigas ir jeigu mes jas neigsime, tai jos ateis ir pareikalaus savo.
So the ideal is that you give them enough time that they're happy, and they give you enough time for your Krishna consciousness that you're happy. That would be the ideal arrangement.
Taigi pati tobula situacija būtų tokia, kad jūs skiriate jiems pakankamai laiko, kad jie būtų laimingi ir jie atgal jums duoda pakankamai laiko jūsų Krišnos sąmonei.
It's a balance. You can't neglect them and you can't neglect your spiritual life, and so you have to figure out how to do both. Be smart enough to do both.
Pusiausvyra yra tokia, kad jūs negalite nei paneigti jų poreikių, nei savo Krišnos sąmonės ir jūs turite išsiaiškinti protingai, kaip juos suderinti.
Usually in my counseling of devotees that are in this situation, I always find that when they give enough time to their families, and their families are happy to let them give time to service and sadhana.
Mano patirtyje, kai teko konsultuoti su tokia problema susiduriančius bhaktus, tai sprendimas yra, kad jie duoda pakankamai laiko savo šeimoms, jų šeimos yra dėl to laimingos ir taip jie duoda jam pakankamai laiko sadhanai ir bhakti.
I want to make an invitation now before we
Noriu
continue.
pakviesti dabar jūs.
I invite all devotees who'd like to show their lotus face to show it. It's actually easier for me to talk the more faces I see.
Prašau, visi, kas galite įsijungti kameras, parodykite savo lotosinius veidus, nes man taip yra lengviau kalbėti. Taigi prašymas įsijungti kameras.
Yeah. Because when I give class every day on Facebook, all I see is my face.
Taigi,
I guess that's why they call
kiekvieną
it Facebook, right? You see your own face there. So,
kartą, kai duodu paskaitas per veidaknygę, tai viskas, ką matau, mano veidas, tai todėl jie ir vadina
see your
Facebook.
lotus face. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to see your face. You don't have to hide from me. They're thinking, if Maharaj sees my face, he'll know what I'm thinking, and I don't want to show it. No, that's okay. I already know what you're thinking, even if I don't see your face.
Negalvokite, kad aš Jeigu pamatysiu jūsų veidą, tai išsiaiškinsiu jūsų, skaitysiu jūsų mintis. Aš ir taip skaitau jūsų mintis, nesijaudinkit.
So, okay, so I think we're ready for the next question.
Mes pasiruošę kitam klausimui.
One second, I'm copying it right now. This question is going to be from Yashoda Mai,
Okay.
and it's in the chat right now. Okay, so she's asking, I have heard that the main service of a woman is to take care of the household. Does it also count as service to Krishna, the same as serving at the temple or not?
Yes.
Esu girdėjusi, kad moters pagrindinė tarnystė yra rūpintis namais. Ar tai irgi skaitosi tarnystė Krišnai lygiai tokia pati kaip šventykloje tarnauti, ar visgi ne?
Yes. But in your situation, it might end up being your husband's main service to take care of the house sometimes, right?
Taip, bet jūsų atveju tai gali būti, kad vyras turės užsiimti namais kartais.
So I was just answering the first part of the question. That sometimes it may not be, the roles may be switched due to circumstance.
Tai aš čia atsakinėjau į pirmą klausimo dalį, kad kartais priklausomai nuo aplinkybių vyro ir žmonos vaidmenys gali susikeisti.
Your house is Krishna's house. Your husband, your children are Krishna's, so you're serving them, definitely.
Jūsų namai yra Krišnos namai, jūsų vyras ir vaikai yra taip pat Krišnos nuosavybė, taigi jūs tarnaudama jiems neabejotinai tarnaujate Krišnai.
Of course, generally it's not our only service.
Paprastai tai nėra mūsų vienintelė tarnystė.
But when your, children are really young, that is your only service.
Na, kai vaikai yra tikrai maži, tai taip, tai gali būti vienintelė.
And there's a famous letter, I don't know if you know this, Yashoda, but there was a Pujari who had a child, and she kind of had the same question, it was like, all my time's going to my child, and Prabhupada said, your child is your deity. You should stop deity worship and just worship your child. So that's obviously service, they're devotees.
Yra toks žymus laiškas iš vienos pudžiarės, kuri rašė Šilai Prabhupadai, skųsdamasi, kad kai jis susilaukė vaiko, ji nebeturi laiko tarnystei, pudžiarės tarnystei. Tai atsakymas Prabhupados buvo, kad dabar tavo vaikas yra tavo dievybė, taip kad jam yra pirmenybė prieš kitas tarnystės.
It's like, every ashram is slightly different, every situation is slightly different. So what is service in one ashram, maybe it's not service in another ashram.
Kiekvienas ašramas, kiekviena situacija yra specifinė, taigi kas gali būti tarnystė vienam ašramui, kitam ašramui tai gali būti ne pareiga.
But even sometimes sannyasis have had to go home and take care of their parents because there was no one else to take care of them. So that was their service to Krishna, take care of their parents.
Kartais buvo situacijų, kad netgi sanyasiai privalėjo grįžti namo ir rūpintis tėvais, nes nebuvo nieko kito. Taigi, tai netgi sanyasiams tapo pareiga Krishnai rūpintis savo šeimą.
One sannyasi went home to take care of his mother, and she became a devotee and got initiated. Then she was dying, and he ended up arranging for her initiation. So that was pretty nice.
Taigi buvo tokia situacija, kad sanyasis nuėjo rūpintis savo seną motiną ir ji tapo atsidavusioje ir prieš mirtį ji buvo inicijuota.
And then the other thing is, in terms of service, a lot depends on your consciousness as well. Like, are you seeing it as service, or are you seeing it as like a waste of time?
Dar kitas aspektas, tai yra priklauso labai nuo jūsų požiūrio. Ar jūs į tai žiūrite kaip į tarnystę, ar jūs į tai žiūrite kaip į laiko gaišimą.
So you serve your husband, you serve your children. They're devotees. It's service, for sure.
Taigi jūs tarnaujate savo vyrui, savo vaikams, jie yra atsidavusiai, todėl tai yra neabejotinai tarnystė.
I'm cleaning the floor, but whose floor is it? It's Krishna's. So it's service.
Aš plaunu grindis, o kam tos grindis priklauso? Krishnai reiškia, tai yra tarnystė.
How do you say Krishna in Lithuania?
Kaip vadinasi Krishna lietuviškai?
Krishna.
Yeah, I guess we just don't roll the R. The rest is like in Sanskrit. Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yeah, okay. Did that answer your question, Jasoda, or there's more to the question?
Ar tai atsakė jūsų klausimą, Jašoda?
I think so, but my question was, like previously, when I was living in Kaunas, actually almost all my time I was in the temple.
Oh,
like
okay.
I was from Mangalarati till like evening I was in the temple.
Oh, okay.
But but the thing is that sometimes I felt much better that I'm serving a lot, like, Mangalarati, all the program. Then I was
Yeah.
doing deity services,
Yeah.
cooking for deities, but my home was a big mess. I was not cleaning my home. I was not cooking there. And I was, like I was running away to the temple.
Yeah.
And in one hand, and now like it's I'm almost when I'm not working, I'm in my home. I'm cooking here and I'm cleaning here and I'm making services here. Sometimes I'm making garlands here and then I'm going to the temple to give for deities. But inside, I'm feeling that maybe now I'm in Maya and maybe now I'm maybe like it was better before because I was so much in the service and now I'm so much in my home. But actually then my consciousness was that I was running from my home because in my home there was very bad situation and I was running in the temple because there was much better. So
yeah.
Nu, tai bus santrauka dabar, just shortly. Tai, esmė, kad kai gyvenau Kaune, Jašodama jis sako, kad visą laiką buvau santuokoje, bet visą laiką praleisdavau šventykloje nuo Mangalaračio iki vakaro, bet mano namai ten buvo didžiulė betvarkė, žodžiu, aš neplaudavau, negamindavau. O dabar aš kaip tik esu daug namuose, čia gaminu viską, bet jaučiuosi lyg būčiau Majoje, kad netarnauju šventykloje.
Jasodama, I think you know the answer. I think you kind of just answered your question by saying you neglected your home. Yeah.
Tu pati atsakėjai savo klausimą, sakydama, kad tu savo namams neskyrei dėmesio.
It seems like what you're saying is like you were living the life of a brahmacharini being in the Grihastha ashram because you're so excited about devotional service.
Tu bandėjai gyventi brahmačirinės gyvenimą jau būdama santuokoje.
Something like that, a little bit?
Ar gali tai būti?
Yeah. So the best advice I can give is that we just have to adjust to the situation we're in and not think, but in the past I did this, because that will create we'll feel like, well, maybe I should be doing it again, but maybe you're not in the situation anymore where you can or where it's practical.
Mes turėtumėm prisitaikyti prie aplinkybių ir negalvoti, kad jeigu praeityje aš dariau taip, tai ir dabar turiu daryti lygiai taip pat, nes viskas priklauso nuo situacijos.
I'll give you my own scenario of this. I have my own version of the guilt, because I felt it also.
Aš tau papasakosiu, kaip man buvo, kaip aš tvarkiausi su kaltės jausmu, nes man irgi taip nutiko.
And then I'll tell you the story, but first, I had to adapt to the reality of my life, otherwise I would feel guilty. And after she translates, I'll tell you what happened.
Taigi aš turėjau prisitaikyti prie naujų aplinkybių ir priimti jas kitaip, mane būtų užgraužusi kaltė.
So I became a devotee in 1970, and then 30 years later, in the year 2000 more or less, I started a business because my daughter was born in 2001 and we needed money and we needed a place for her. So my life changed a lot.
Aš tapau atsidavusioju 1970-aisiais ir po 30 metų, maždaug 2000-aisiais, aš pradėjau savo verslą, kadangi 2001-aisiais gimė mano dukra, mums reikėjo pinigų ir viskas pasikeitė.
So one of the things we did was we would buy things in India, and then we would go on college campuses and we would sell them. We'd have a few books for people who were interested, but the main thing is we were selling, like Tulsi neck beads and jewelry and earrings, all Indian jewelry stuff.
Mes pirkdavome prekes Indijoje ir tada važiuodavome į studentų miestelius ir juos pardavinėdavome. Mes turėdavome kažkokių knygų, bet daugiausiai pardavinėdavom indiškus papuošalus, karoliukus ir panašiai.
Okay, it's nice we're selling Tulsi, but selling so many other things. And we really weren't preaching. It wasn't like set up for that. And I used to preach on college campuses all the time. And now here I am sitting behind a table, not full of books, preaching, but full of jewelry, and all the girls are making themselves beautiful. So I was kind of feeling like you were feeling, like this is what I used to do. It's kind of feeling really strange.
Prieš tai aš pamokslaudavau studentų miesteliuose, bet dabar štai aš buvau ten ir pardavinėjau auskarus merginoms, kad jos gražiai jaustųsi, tai aš jaučiausi panašiai kaip tu, lyg leisčiau laiką veltui.
But then I didn't have a house. I didn't have cars to pay for. I didn't have children. So I just had to adjust, and it was difficult. But once I just acknowledged that this is the stage of life I'm in, then it was okay. Then I could do it.
Tai buvo sudėtinga, nes iki tol aš neturėjau namų, automobilio, vaiko, kurį reikėjo išlaikyti. Tai buvo sudėtinga situacija, bet kai aš pripažinau, kad yra taip ir prisitaikiau, viskas stojo į savo vietas.
Anyway, from home you can do so much service, on Facebook or whatever you use to do your classes or Zoom. So it's just a different, it's a different time, different phase, different service.
Taigi net iš namų galite tarnauti, galite per Facebooką, pavyzdžiui, paskaitas organizuoti, tai viskas priklauso nuo aplinkybių, viskas yra suderinama.
So it's an adaptation.
Tai yra adaptacija.
And I have an order for you, Yashodamai.
Turiu tau nurodymą, Yashodamai.
Take this order very seriously.
Priimk tai labai rimtai.
You're not allowed to feel guilty anymore.
Tau neleidžiama jaustis kaltai daugiau.
Unless it helps you in Krishna consciousness. If it doesn't help you, not allowed.
Nebent tai tau padėtų Krišnos sąmonė, bet jeigu ta kaltė nepadeda, tai tau neleidžiama jaustis kaltai.
Can we make a deal?
Ar sutarėm?
That's instructions for everybody, not just her.
Tai visiems nurodymas toks pats.
But you brought up, feeling guilty. So if you can feel guilty in a way that at home you increase your service, then that's good. I'll use that guilt to okay, what can we do here at home? Make it more Krishna conscious. Invite people over, have programs, like that. Then it's good. Then the guilt's good. But living in the past and it doesn't help. That's the way it was then, but now it's different.
Jeigu tavo kaltė yra tavo variklis, kuris tau padeda organizuoti tarnystės sadanoje ar ten, pavyzdžiui, kviestis atsidavusius namus, tai gerai, bet jeigu ne, tai ta kaltė neturi jokios prasmės.
And once you make peace with what you're doing, like this is the right thing and this is the best I can do in this situation, then you won't feel guilty. There's no need to. Right?
Kai susitaikysi su ta mintim, kad tai yra geriausia, ką galiu padaryti dabar, tai nebereiks jaustis kaltai. Taip?
This is it's a very common thing that a man's a brahmachari, he's a book distributor, and then he gets married, he goes out with his kids to the park, and that's the park he used to distribute books at, and now he's playing frisbee with his kids. It's like you have to make that adjustment.
Tai labai dažnai atsitinka vyrams, kurie seniau, būdami brahmachariais, eidavo į parką platinti knygų ir dabar, turėdami vaikų, jie eina į tą patį parką ir žaidžia žaidimus su vaikais. Tai reikia prisitaikyti, taip jau yra.
And then he every 5 minutes he tells his kid, just hold on, I want to give this book to this person. The kid ends up growing up hating his father. It's like he loves Krishna, he hates me, he doesn't want to, he can't do that.
Taigi, jeigu tėvas bandytų kas 5 minutės palikti vaiką ir bandyti išplatinti knygą, tai vaikas galiausiai užaugęs nekęs savo tėvo, kad jis sakys, kad jis mylėjo tik tai Krišną, o manęs nemylėjo.
Does that make sense?
Ar suprantate?
It's quite a common problem. It's just a shifting in, situation.
Tai yra labai įprasta problema.
At Yashoda, when I was in Mayapur, every morning we had morning walks, and every night we had classes, and I was like always surrounded by devotees. And now, you see anybody around here? See this big office? It's just me. You know, it's a totally different environment. So you just adjust to it.
Tai kai aš gyvenau Majapūre, tai aš visą laiką kas rytą turėdavau džiapos pasivaikščiojimus, buvau visą laiką apsuptas atsidavusiųjų, tačiau dabar aš esu štai čia ofise, nieko nėra aplinkui, tai mano aplinkybės pasikeitė.
I think adaptation is one of the most important things we have to learn, because situations are always changing in life.
Adaptacija yra tas dalykas, kurį mes turime išmokti, nes visą laiką situacija gyvenime keičiasi.
And our ability to adapt is going to prove to be extremely important in our spiritual life.
Ir mūsų sugebėjimas prisitaikyti bus labai svarbus mūsų dvasiniam gyvenimui.
Does that make sense?
Ar supratot?
That's my experience.
Tokia mano patirtis.
And I've seen this is where a lot of devotees who are doing really well, that they get into a different situation and they have trouble because they were doing really well in one situation, then it changes. They don't have so much support, and so they have to adjust so their Krishna consciousness can still be strong, and they have to use like different strategies to do that.
Mačiau daugybę atsidavusiųjų, kuriems sekėsi puikiai, bet tuomet pasikeitė aplinkybės ir jiems iškilo sunkumų, nes jiems sekėsi puikiai vienose aplinkybėse, bet prisitaikant prie kitokių kilo sunkumų.
Lately I've been feeling separation from kirtan, so I gave a class the other day, and we were talking about kirtan, and I just said, well, let's just chant. I don't want to talk about it. I just, because I'm not doing a lot of kirtan, so I just have to adapt somehow, I got my little kirtan group here and my keyboard, and we do kirtan.
Paskutiniu metu neatlieku tiek daug kirtanų, tai man jaučiasi jo trūkumas. Tai kažkada, kai turėjome paskaitą ar klausimą apie kirtaną, sakau, aš nenoriu atsakinėti, tiesiog dainuokim. Tai taip aš prisitaikau.
Okay. Thank you for that question. I think that's relevant to everybody.
Manau, kad šitas klausimas labai aktualus, tai ačiū už jį.
Is that okay?
Ar gerai?
Good. Okay, next question.
Toliau, kitas klausimas.
Gurudev, you just got a question in the chat which relates to what you spoke about from Parmanad Prabhu. He says, if you receive an instruction to do book distribution at 10 a.m., however, at that time, my daughter is waiting to learn for something for exam the next day. Can you guide me what to do in such situation?
Take sannyas. Solve your problem.
Just a moment. Tai Hare Krishna, jeigu aš gavau nurodymą platinti knygas 10 val. Ryto ir tuo pačiu metu mano dukra, jinai turi mokytis kažką egzaminui kitą dieną, tai ką man daryti tokioje situacijoje?
There's only one problem, Parmanand. I'm not a sannyasi, so I can't give you sannyas. So we have to figure out what to do.
Tai reikia priimti sannyasi atsakymas ir, problema, kad aš pats nesanyasis, tai negaliu tavęs išventinti.
My wife has some good advice. She said, taking care of children is not going to go on forever.
Mano žmona turi gerą patarimą. Jis sako, kad rūpinimasis vaikais amžinai nesitęs.
So now that you have them, take care of them.
Dabar, kai juos turi, rūpinkis jais.
It's your priority.
Tai tavo prioritetas.
If you can do both, fine, but you have to give priority to your children.
Jeigu gali suderinti viską puiku, bet jeigu ne, tai tada prioritetas yra tavo vaikams.
A common problem I've seen is that devotees neglect their family to do service.
Įprasta problema, su kuria susiduria, yra tai, kad atsidavusieji nuvertina savo šeimą, neskiria jiems dėmesio, nes nori atlikti tarnystės.
So if your family life is disrupted, if your children are unhappy, it's going to have a negative effect not only on them, but on you as well.
Jeigu tavo šeimos gyvenimas šlubuoja, jeigu tavo vaikai nepatenkinti, tai paveiks ne tik juos, bet ir tave.
We have a saying in America, when mama's not happy, nobody's happy.
Mes Amerikoje sakoma, jeigu mama nepatenkinta, tai nepatenkintas niekas.
And, you know, if the wife is not happy, the mother's not happy, it's not a good situation.
Jeigu žmona, jeigu mama nėra patenkinta, tai nieko gero.
Kids are not happy, they're not doing well in school because you're out on book distribution. It's not a good situation.
Vaikams nesiseka mokykloje, jie nepatenkinti, nes jūs visą laiką skiriate knygų platinimui. Tai nėra gerai.
There's a saying my wife told me, like, children grow slow, but it happens fast. It's like, it seems like forever, but when they finally grow up, it's like, what happened? They were just like babies yesterday. So, you know, it's not going to last that long. They'll be gone, you know.
Mano žmona sako, kad tuo metu, kai vaikai yra maži, tai atrodo, kad dienos trunka visą amžinybę, bet kai jie pagaliau užauga, atrodo, kad tai įvyko per vieną akimirką. Taigi, tai, kur esate dabar, nesitęs amžinai.
But you don't want to, you know, destroy them in any way by neglecting them.
Jūs nenorite jiems pakenkti, jūs užlugdyti, neigdami jų poreikius.
Is that okay, Paramanand? Or you wanted a different or what?
Ar jūs norite kitokio atsakymo?
Ça c'est bon? Pas bon, pas bon.
Negerai, neblogai, negerai.
You have to unmute to tell us.
Išsijunkit mikrofoną. Yeah.
It's good, Maharaj. Okay, good explanation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. He said, ça c'est bon.
Pasakė, kad gerai. Sutinka.
How do you say, you say it the same way in Creole? I forgot.
Yeah. Très bon.
Très bon. Creole is broken French.
Yes.
Instead of saying I'm hungry, you say I hungry. Mo faim. Mo faim. Me hungry. Me hungry.
Tokia prancūziškų slengų kalbam.
It's the street language of Mauritius.
Tai gatvės slengas.
In Creole, we say it,
it's the language the indigenous people, when they heard the French people speaking French, they started speaking what they thought they heard, and it came out as a kind of a broken French.
Žodžiu, kai į Mauricijų atvyko prancūzai, tai vietiniai žmonės jų klausėsi ir kartojo tai, ką girdėjo, ir gavosi tokia laužta prancūzų.
But mo femme, I am hungry. That's for
yes.
I'm drinking to keep me full. I'm drinking water. If you're hungry, drink water.
Tai jeigu jaučiatės išalkęs, tai gerkite vandenį.
Okay, we'll take the next question.
Toliau kitas klausimas.
Okay, so the next question is from Gerda, and she's asking, could it be that even if we connect most of our activities to devotional service, we still search for enjoyment in them subtly? I find myself in situations where I think this is more important for Krishna and this is not so important, so I could enjoy this a little bit. How to get rid of this? How to get rid of this mentality? Do things in equal quality and try to please Krishna.
Well,
can I read the answer? The translation.
You can give the answer also if you want.
Not really. Ar gali būti, kad netgi susijus daugumą savo veiklos su atsidavimo tarnystė, mes vis tiek subtiliai ten ieškome pasitenkinimo, randu save situacijose, kai galvoju, šitas Krišnai svarbiau, o šitas netaip svarbu, todėl galiu truputį pasimėgauti. Kaip atsisakyti tokio mąstymo, atlikti visas veiklas taip kokybiškai, kaip ir patenkinti Krišną.
Well, Gerda, your body does not belong to you.
Gerda, tavo kūnas tau nepriklauso.
Your senses do not belong to you.
Tavo jauslės tau nepriklauso.
But if you're in that situation where you want to do it because you like to do it, somehow or other, You have to get Krishna in there and figure out how I can please him by doing it.
Bet jeigu atsidurite situacijoje, kur norite kažką daryti, tai jums reikia rasti būdą, kaip tai darant patenkinti Krishną.
That's the main thing.
Tai yra svarbiausias dalykas.
Say, Krishna, I like to do this, but I'm going to do this for your pleasure.
Reikia sakyti, Krishna, aš mėgstu tai daryti, bet aš tai darysiu dėl tavo malonumo.
You know, it's also good to think that for millions of lifetimes we've just done things for our own pleasure.
Padeda galvoti, kad milijonus gyvenimų mes tiesiog tenkiname save, viską darėme savo malonumui.
We've all done that, right? Lifetime after we're just seeking out pleasure for ourselves.
Gyvenimus po gyvenimo mes ieškojame malonumų savo.
So I have a question for Gerda and everyone. How's that working for you?
Ir turiu klausimą, Gerdai, ir visiems, kaip jums sekasi?
Well, it seems like it got me another body.
Na, atrodo, kad turime vis gauname kitą kūną.
And it got me another mind that sometimes drives me literally crazy.
Ir gavome kaip pasekmę protą, kuris kartais veda mus iš proto.
And it's got me in a world that's kind of not really that great.
Ir tai apgyvendino mane pasaulyje, kuris net toks puikus.
So we need to, you know, look at things realistically.
Taigi reikia realistiškai pasižiūrėti į situaciją.
Like do something unique, like give up sense gratification. That would be unique in your whole sojourn in the material world. To give that up would be like a unique experience in this life.
Tai galite šį gyvenimą daryti kažką unikalaus, kažką, kas išskirtų iš jūsų visų gyvenimų. Tai nebetenkinkite savo visų.
Let's just do it for Krishna. Let's see what happens.
Darykime viską Krishnai ir žiūrėkime, kas iš to gausis.
Okay, I have a little more experience because I'm older, so I can certify that pleasing Krishna really works.
Aš šiek tiek jau turiu daugiau patirties, tai galiu patvirtinti, kad patenkinus Krishną tikrai mums į naudą.
And so, you know, you need some sense gratification. So take what you need, get it out of the way, and then focus on pleasing Krishna.
Tai mums visiems neišvengiamai reikia šiek tiek jūsų tenkinimo, tai padarykite tiek, kiek reikia, o visą kitą laiką skirkite Krishnai.
It's kind of like you need some nice clothes, you need some nice jewelry, you need some nice curtains, you need some nice furniture, you need some nice shoes, you need some nice purses. All right, just get it and get it over with, and now just focus on pleasing Krishna. So that's also part of the process.
Na, jums reikia ir drabužių, gražių batų, papuošalų, visko, baldų, tai gaukite tai, ko jums reikia ir tada paleiskite tai ir atsisukite į Krishną.
So sometimes you need a certain amount of sense gratification just to be stable.
Kartais iš tiesų reikia šiek tiek pasirūpinti juslėmis, kad galėtumėte tiesiog normaliai jaustis.
So get what you need and then move forward in pleasing Krishna.
Gaukite tai, ko jums reikia ir tada tiesiog eikite į priekį ir stenkitės dėl Krishnos.
You know, it's like, oh, I saw these earrings online. They're beautiful. They're lotus flowers. I really want to get them.
Taigi, pamačiau štai parduotuvėje internete lotoso formos auskarus, man tikrai jų reikia.
And then you're thinking, it's just sense gratification.
Bet tada galvojate, ne, tai yra tiesiog jūsų tenkinimas.
Yeah, then I would say, just get them and stop thinking about it and go do your devotional service. Don't worry about it. Don't get mental about it.
Aš sakyčiau, nesureikšminkite, gaukite tos auskarus, įsigykite ir toliau tarnaukite Krishnai.
As long as you're not buying a new pair every day, you're okay.
Jeigu neperkate kiekvieną dieną vis naujų, tai viskas gerai.
Something like that, you know, like just get what you need and move on.
Pasirūpinkite savo svarbiais poreikiais ir į priekį.
It's kind of like eating.
Tai kaip valgymas.
How much should you eat?
Kiek reikia valgyti?
Enough. You should eat enough,
Pakankamai.
right?
Ar
So
taip?
take what you need.
Taigi darykite, kai ko jums reikia.
I don't know if that answered your question, though. Did it
Ar
answer your
atsakė į
question?
klausimą.
Okay, good. And sometimes you have a nature, like you like to paint, or you like to do music, or you like to write, or you like to manage, or whatever it is. You just have to figure out how to use that for Krishna.
Kartais mūsų prigimtyje yra užkoduoti tam tikri dalykai, pavyzdžiui, mėgstate piešti ar groti muziką, vadovauti ir panašiai, tai jums tiesiog reikia išsiaiškinti, kaip tai darbinti Krishnai.
Because that nature won't necessarily go away. So you say, I'd like to do this. I like to write poetry. Okay, we'll write it for Krishna.
Nes negalima tiesiog neigti tos savo prigimties. Pavyzdžiui, jūs mėgstate rašyti poeziją, tai rašykite eiles Krishnai.
I like to do things with my body. Okay, well, just exercise enough so you're strong and you feel good. No problem.
Pavyzdžiui, jūs mėgstate sportuoti, tai tiesiog sportuokite tiek, kad jums gerai jaustumėtės stiprus ir gerai, viskas okay.
We need strong devotees, right? To lift heavy boxes of boga, right?
Mums reikia stiprių atsidavusių, kad kilnotų pilnas bogos dėžes.
We need strong devotees to protect the women on Harinam when the drunks come and try to, harass them.
Mums reikia stiprių vyrukų, kurie pasirūpintų matadžiamis Harinamoje, kurie ten girtuokliai kabinėjasi.
Some devotees are inclined to martial arts, so they just, they do that and then they use that to protect the devotees.
Kai kurie atsidavusiai praktikuoja kovos menus, tai jie tai daro ir paskui naudoja tai, kad apsaugotų atsidavusiuosius.
A lot of these desires they're not really material desires, they're part of our nature. And it only becomes material when you use it for sense gratification, but you can use it to please Krishna. Then you're fine.
Daugybė tų pomėgių, jie yra tiesiog jūsų prigimtyje, tai jie tampa materialiais, kai jūs juos naudojate materialiems tikslams, bet jūs galite panaudoti juos Krishnai.
Let's say you're writing poetry. You become a devotee and say, now I have something to write about. Fantastic. Or I'm an artist. Now I have something to paint. Or you write songs. Now I have something to sing about. It's so wonderful, isn't it?
Pavyzdžiui, jūs rašote poeziją, tai jūs atėjote į Krishna sąmonę ir džiaugitės tuo, jūs turite kažką, apie ką rašyti, kažką naujo, arba jūs tapote paveikslus, tai jūs turite kažkokį naują erdvę, ką piešti, kur pasireikšti.
Okay, next question.
Toliau kitas klausimas.
You can look in the chat, see if anything in the chat relates to what we're talking about, and if not, we'll take the next question.
There was one question. 1 second. It went up the chat. Sorry. But I think you already answered it. Yeah, okay. So then let's maybe take another one.
Okay.
So Gabriela was asking that actually it popped up a couple of times before, so I will ask this now. In the current historical context, it is very common that more couples choose not to have children in order to develop more in other areas such as work. It is also more expensive to have children in these times. My question is, if it is a valid and viable option in Krishna consciousness to choose not having children in order to dedicate that time to preaching and expansion of consciousness projects.
Dabartinėme istorinėme kontekste dažnai nutinka, kad poros pasirenka neturėti vaikų tam, kad labiau pažengtų tokiose sferose kaip darbe ir be to vaikų išlaikymas yra brangus. Mano klausimas yra, ar pasirinkti neturėti vaikų tam, kad visą savo laiką paskirtum Krišnos sąmonei ir pamokslavimui bei projektuose yra pateisinamas ir priimtinas sprendimas.
Well, if you ask Mother Urmila, she will tell you, have as many kids as possible, because the consciousness movement will grow that way.
Jeigu užduotumėte šį klausimą Mataji ir Milai, tai jis sakytų, gimdykite kiek tik galite vaikų, nes taip Krišnos sąmonės judėjimas augs.
Ultimately, you know, it's going to be a personal decision, but you should know the ramifications of the decisions you make.
Galiausiai tai bus jūsų sprendimas, bet reikėtų žinoti gairias, kaip tuos sprendimus daryti.
My wife waited a long time.
Mano žmona laukė
She didn't
ilgą
have
laiką.
children.
Ji nenorėjo turėti vaikų.
And you know what her mantra is now? I was so stupid. Why did I wait so long?
Ir žinote, kokia jos dabar mantra, aš buvau tokia kvaila, kodėl aš taip ilgai laukiau.
Because a lot of times a woman doesn't want to have a kid, and once she has her first, she's like, oh, I want like 2 more. This is so much fun.
Nes taip dažnai nutinka, kad moteris nenori turėti vaikų, bet kai susilaukia pagaliau, tai tada jis sako, o kaip faina, aš norėčiau dar 2.
This whole nurturing nature comes out, and then like the whole mother mode takes over, and they just want to have lots of kids. So I've seen that. I'm not making a judgment. I'm just saying I've seen it.
Na, aš to neabsoliutinu, bet aš mačiau tokių situacijų, kad taip pasireiškia moteriška motinos prigimtis ir tai jai labai patinka.
So one has to be careful, because you may end up at 46 thinking, I am so stupid. I should have had kids. What was I? This is my wife's mind. What was I thinking? Of course, the answer is I wasn't thinking.
Taigi, na, jums reiktų taip gerai pasvarstyti, nes galite baigti 46 metų gailėdamas, kodėl aš buvau tokia kvaila ir neturėjau vaikų. Tai mano žmonos mantra, ką aš galvojau tuo metu.
So, around 1996 or so, my wife, or 95, went to India we were doing business importing. She went to India to buy some things. And she came back and said, I want to have a child. I said, why all of a sudden? She said, every senior woman I met said, why don't you have a child? You should have a child. Every single one said that to her. I don't know why they said it, but I could guess why they said it, but they said it.
95 ar 6 metais mes nuvykome į Indiją ir kai grįžome, mano žmona pareiškė, kad nori turėti vaiką. Ir aš paklausiau, kaip čia taip atsitiko, tu juk nenorėjai. Tai sako, kad kelionėje kiekviena vyresnė moteris, kurią tik sutiko, jos klausė, kodėl nenori vaikų.
So think about that answer.
Tai pagalvokite apie tai.
And I would not force anyone to have kids who don't want to, but I would want to inform them about maybe the realities of not having kids and being a woman and what that means.
Aš nenoriu nieko versti turėti vaikų ir skatinti, jeigu jūs nenorite, bet tiesiog noriu informuoti apie tai, kad yra svarbu pagalvoti gerai, kodėl nenorite vaikų.
Will it get in the way of service? It's another service.
Jeigu jūsų argumentas, kad tai trukdys tarnystei, tai jis yra negeras. Tai ir bus jūsų tarnystė.
If you turn 50 and lament, I never had any children, that will definitely get in the way of your service.
O jeigu jūs sulaukusi 50 imsite graužtis, kodėl neturėjote vaikų, tai ta problema tikrai bus jums užkirs kelią. Tai yra tos kersai kelią jūsų tarnystė.
When you have a child, it definitely changes you. I can say that.
Bet jeigu turėsite vaikų, tai jūsų mąstymas tikrai pasikeis.
But Prabhupada encouraged grihastas to get married, but he never forced anybody to have children.
Prabhupada...
He encouraged grihastas to have children, but he never forced anybody.
Prabhupada, jisai skatino grihastą susilaukti vaikų, bet jis niekada nenaudojo prievartos, nevertė jų.
It's not like Prabhupada would see you, Gabriel, and say, how many kids do you have? And you'd say, none. He'd go, useless. He's never asked anybody those questions.
Jis tai niekada neklausinėjo, taip, kad įsivaizduokite, tai Gabrielė, kiek vaikų turi? Na, neturiu nei vieno, tai tu niekam tikus, jis taip nesakydavo.
But the fact that every senior woman told my wife, you have to have kids, I don't even think they were soft. I think they just kind of demanded her. You're like, what are you doing? You should have children. It's something to think about.
Bet tos visos moteris, vyresnės moteris, kurios mano žmonai liepia turėti vaikų, jos tai visai nesubtiliai pasakė, jos tiesiog pasakė, ką tu savo galvoji, turėk vaikų. Tai, iš tiesų apie tai reikia pagalvoti gerai.
Yeah. Populate the world with devotees.
Taigi reikia užtvindyti pasaulį atsidavusiais.
Oh, we have a question. How to understand the wife?
Mes turime klausimą, kaip suprasti žmoną. Maharaj, this should be the biggest book, the most
book.
pages book in the
Book, and the book for understand the man only has 1 page.
Tai kaip suprasti moteris yra storiausia knyga pasaulyje, o kaip suprasti vyrus, tai iš viso yra 1 puslapis.
Men are simple. They just want food and sex, and they're happy.
Su vyrais viskas paprasta, jie nori tik pavalgyti ir sekso ir viskas, jiems iki laimės.
Women are so complicated. You have to speak the right way at the right time, and you have to look the right way, and you have to buy presents, and you have to have the right house, and you got to be in the mood they're in. It's so complicated. How will you understand them?
Su moterim yra taip sudėtinga, joms reikia gražiai kalbėti, ten tinkamai elgtis, reikia joms pirkti dovanas, reikia atspėti ir būti tokioj pačioj nuotaikoje kaip jos, žodžiu, labai sunku.
Well, when I figure them out, I'll let you know.
Kai aš išsiaiškinsiu, tai pranešiu jums.
If you're going to get married, you need to understand as best you can.
Jeigu jau planuojate tuoktis, tai teks jums pasistengti, kaip
gyvenime. I had a brilliant idea. I had this brilliant idea.
Aš turėjau tobulą mintį.
I finally realized if you want to understand your wife, just ask her. And she'll tell you. What a brainstorm I had. I must be the smartest person in the world to figure that out.
Aš turbūt esu pats protingiausias žmogus pasaulyje, kad išsiaiškinau vieną tiesą. Jeigu norite suprasti, kaip su žmona elgtis, tai reikia jos paklausti.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about understanding women. You just have to understand the woman you're married to or going to marry. So just ask her. Tell me, how do I understand you?
Jums nereikia vargintis, norint suprasti visas moteris. Jums reikia suprasti tik vieną tą, kurią vedęs esate arba planuojate vesti. Tai paklauskite jos.
Okay. Now he's saying, I don't know if this is true. Did you see that comment? What if the wife says that being Krishna conscious is good, but eating pani puri on streets is equally important? How to deal with this? Just make her happy.
O jeigu žmona sako, kad čia tas pats iš to paties žmogaus klausimas, jeigu žmona sako, kad gerai ta Krišnos sąmonė, bet valgyti panipūrį gatvėse yra taip pat svarbu, kaip čia su tuo tvarkytis.
Rujan, you will never be happy if your wife's not happy.
Supraskite, kad jūs niekada nebūsite laimingas, jeigu jūsų žmona bus nelaiminga.
Of course, someone will say, what if he chants Hare Krishna purely, he'll be happy. You'll be happy while you're chanting, but when you stop chanting, if your wife's not happy, you won't be happy. I guarantee you. My experience.
Aišku, galite atsakyti, kad jeigu tyrai kartosite šventą vardą, tai būsite laimingas. Tai būsite laimingas tol, kol kartosite, o kai nustosite kartoti, tai jeigu žmona bus nepatenkinta, tai jūs irgi būsite nelaimingas.
Yeah. Anyway, if that's the job of the man, it's the job of the woman to make the husband happy, and the job of the man to make the wife happy.
Žmonos darbas yra padaryti vyrą laimingą, o vyro padaryti žmoną laimingą.
Okay, next question.
Toliau kitas klausimas.
Yeah, before asking the question, Anuradha Priya, could you translate Yurata's comment, which was directed to Gurudev, so it doesn't get lost in the chat?
Okay, just a moment. Moment, some problem here.
Or maybe I can try to translate if you would like.
Okay, man čia nusimušė biškį, tai gal tu paskaityk, kol rašau.
Okay. I will first read it in Lithuanian, Gurudev, okay?
Okay.
Čia mes gavome komentarą nuo Juratės Mataji ir jinai rašo, kad Hare Krishna, priimkite mano žemus nusilenkimus, mano vyras nepriklauso Iskonui, tačiau jis labai žavisi jūsų išmintimi ir labai aiškiai bei paprastų bendražmogiškų vertybių traktavimu. Šiuo metu jūs esate jo didžiausias autoritetas Iskone, jis siunčia jums savo meilę ir palaiminimus. So Gurudev, you
Okay.
received a comment. Oh, you're on, Anuradha, on this one?
Okay. So the translation, it's just a comment that Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. My husband is not in ISKCON, but he admires very much your wisdom and your clear and simple way of treating the common values. And so you are the best authority for him in ISKCON, and he sends you his love and blessings.
Who is that from? He's not here on Zoom. He's on Facebook.
Maybe
It's
he
his
is because
wife.
Yurati is connected. Yeah, so his wife is here.
Okay.
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, good. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, me too. I really appreciate that. What I hear, what I hear from you. Yeah,
Thank you.
it's really sounds very beautiful, very nice, and it touches really deep. It's really it's common. It sounds like really common stuff for not only for ISKCON, but for whole humanity. It's main and basic values. I really admire that.
Yeah, you know the truth works. If it's true, it works, and if it's not true, it doesn't. So
Of course.
the truth always like wins, right?
Tai tiesa visada yra universali ir ji tinka visiems, ne tik tai ISKCON nariams.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Next question.
Thank you.
Toliau,
Gurudev, would you still like to take one more?
I want to ask Damayanti about her house. It looks like it's made out of log cabins. Logs, is it? Is the house made out of logs? And it looks like it's got a sunroof, a skylight coming in. Is that true?
ar Damayanti namai ten iš rąstų padaryti, nes matosi, kaip ten šviesa pro juos sklinda. Ar taip?
Yes?
Čia esam sodyboje. Pas tėvus.
Did he build
It's
it?
like a countryside house, they said. It's not their permanent home. It's
It's nice. I like it.
summer house.
It's nice. You built it yourself?
Ar pats pastatėt?
Nu, darėm remontą kažkada.
No, he just renovated that.
Oh, it's a nice house.
Tiksliau, tėtis čia daugiausia darė.
Said my father was doing the biggest job.
Oh, okay. Nice. Okay. So, all right. Another question?
Tai gerai, toliau kitas klausimas.
Okay, I will just repost it twice just in case of. So the next question is, what should be our relationships like with our relatives or family members who are not Vaishnavas?
Oh, definitely. We should tell them they're all demons and they're going to hell.
Kokie turėtų būti santykiai tarp giminių, kurie yra ne vaišnavai, tai atsakymas, tai jų tikrai reikia pasakyti, kad jie visi demonai ir keliaus į pragarą.
Every bona fide brahmachari should tell their parents that, right?
Visi save gerbiantis brahmachariai turėtų savo tėvams tai paaiškinti.
That was kind of the standard line when, 1970.
70-aisiais tai buvo gana įprastas dalykas taip elgtis.
We should give them lots of prasadam.
Reikia jiems duoti kuo daugiau prasado,
We should be very nice,
nes turime labai gražiai elgtis,
merciful,
būti
kind,
atlaidus, geri, kantrus,
humble, gentle,
malonūs, švelnūs.
just like we're supposed to be to all living entities.
Kaip ir turėtumėm tokie būti visoms gyvoms būtybėms.
And pray that Krishna will bless them.
Taigi reikia melstis už juos, kad Krišna juos palaimintų.
And try to show them by your good example how Krishna consciousness is so wonderful.
Ir reikia savo pavyzdžių rodyti, kokia yra Krišna sąmonė. Tai yra nuostabu.
You imagine you're a parent, right? and your kid joins some organization and the kid comes back and says, you're a demon, what are they going to think of that organization? What's that organization doing to you?
Įsivaizduokite, jūs turite vaiką, jisai įstoja į kažkokią ten neaiškią organizaciją ir pareina namo ir sako jums, kad jūs esate demonas. Tai ką jūs apie tą organizaciją galvosite?
And then they tell you you're going to hell because you eat meat.
Ir tada jis dar jums priedo pasakys, kad jūs keliausite į pragarą, nes valgote mėsą.
They're going to think, oh, I think this movement is really like the best thing that ever happened to you. Are they going to think like that? I don't think so.
Tai žinoma, jie pagalvos, kad, tai šita organizacija čia yra pats geriausias dalykas, kuris nutiko. Tikrai, ar ne?
I mean, it's bad enough coming home with a bald head and robes, and then you tell them they're going to hell. It's icing on the cake.
Tai jau pakankamai geras efektas yra, kai jūs grįžtate namo, nusiskutęs galvą ir apsirengęs paklodėmis. O įsivaizduokit, dar pasiūsite į pragarą juos, tai čia bus kaip vyšnaitė ant torto.
Anyway, you'll understand this answer when you become a parent. But until then, just, how should we deal with anyone? With compassion, understanding, kindness, etc.
Tai iki galo tą atsakymą suprasite, kai tapsite patys tėvais, bet bendras kelias, kaip elgtis, tai kaip su visais, su meile ir kantrybe ir užuojauta.
Sankarshan Krishna has a question somewhere. I can tell he's dying for me to answer his question. You know where his question is? He's asking about changes. Adjustments includes changes. What kind of changes?
Yeah, I found it, Gurudev. I can resend it to you, but I will need it to be translated. 1 second.
Maybe he could ask it because we lost the context. Sankarshan, why don't you just ask it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can unmute and ask your question.
Paklauskit klausimo gyvai.
Okay.
Yes, Maharaj, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So my question is that you spoke about adjustment,
Yes.
like because there are changes which come like due to time, place, and circumstances.
Yeah,
So what kind, adjustment, does it include changes? And if it includes changes, then what kind of changes, if
Okay.
ever it includes?
Okay. Good
Tai
question.
klausimas yra, jūs minėjote, kad su pasikeitusiom aplinkybėm reikalingi nauji sprendimai ir pataisimai, korekcijos, tai kokie tie pokyčiai turėtų būti.
Sankarshan, you're in Mauritius now? Yes.
Lockdown
It's lockdown there.
again. Yeah,
Oh, too bad.
again, Corona is here again.
Oh, I thought you were free from Corona.
You.
The basic idea is what you can do in one situation, you may not be able to do in another situation.
Tai visko ko esmė yra, kad kai jūs esate, tai ką darote vienoje situacijoje, ne viską galite daryti kitoje situacijoje.
We'll use like Jashoda's example. She was at the temple all day.
Taigi panaudosime dabar Jašodos pavyzdį. Ji praleisdavo visą dieną šventykloje.
So now she can't be at the temple all day, so she has to consider, well, what do I do in this situation?
Tai dabar ji nebegali praleisti visos dienos šventykloje, tai ji turi spręsti, ką dabar daryti pasikeitusioje situacijoje.
So she's still making garlands.
Ji ir toliau veria girliandas.
I think she's doing programs online also, I think.
Manau, kad ji toliau organizuoja programas internetu.
And if you're very busy because of the change, then you have to kind of compromise a little bit your sadhana.
Ir jeigu jūs tikrai, jums padidėjo užimtumas dėl tų pokyčių, tai šiek tiek reikia padaryti kompromisus su savo sadhana taip pat.
Maybe you spend a half hour worshiping your deities or an hour, and then now you only have 10 minutes. And you used to read 2 hours a day, and now you can only read for like a half hour.
Galbūt jūs seniau skirdavote skirti dievybėms garbinimui 30 minučių ar valandą, o dabar te turite 10 minučių, arba seniau skaitydavote knygas 2 valandas, o dabar te turite galbūt pusvalandį reikia.
You want to go to, let's say, Sankarshan Krishna, you want to go to like England to go to university. And so, it's going to be totally different. So many adjustments will have to be made. Right?
Taigi įsivaizduokite, jūs dabar išvykstate į kitą šalį, studijuoti universitete, tai akivaizdu, kad vyks pokyčiai jūsų gyvenime.
So like I was saying before, it's kind of like, I wasn't saying this before, but it's kind of like you're on a boat and the weather's changing and you're adjusting your sails and you're adjusting so many things to the weather. So the weather of your life is going to change over time, that's for sure.
Taigi įsivaizduokite, kad jūs plaukiate laivu ir pasikeičia oras, tai jūs turėsite staigiai imtis pokyčių, kad išgyventumėte, tai taip pat ir gyvenime vyksta.
And your ability to adjust to those changes is one of the best Krishna conscious skills you can have.
Ir tie įgūdžiai, kuriuos jūs įgysite prisitaikydami prie pokyčių, jie jums bus patys vertingiausi dalykai jūsų Krišnos sąmonėje.
And adjust to pressures. You might be in a situation where there's a lot of pressure that you didn't have before, and how are you going to adjust to it?
Gali būti situacija, kur jums bus sukeltas didžiulis spaudimas, kurio seniau nebuvo, tai kaip prie to prisitaikysite?
So it's really important.
Tai labai svarbu.
For me, this is number one.
Man štai tai yra pirmoje vietoje.
Numero uno.
Pirmoje vietoje.
You never compromise this.
Niekada neinu į kompromisus dėl šito.
Never, 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 never.
Ir jūs niekada neikite į kompromisus dėl džiapos.
You can sleep less. You can eat less, but not less japa.
Jūs galite mažiau valgyti, mažiau miegoti, bet ne mažiau džiapos.
Don't compromise that.
Neikite į kompromisus dėl to.
There have been times in my life where my only sadhana was my 16 rounds. That's all it was. I didn't have time for anything else.
Buvo etapų mano gyvenime, kai mano vienintelė sadhana buvo 16 ratų. Aš neturėjau laiko visiškai niekam kitam.
Somehow or other, I always did it. I never compromised that. And that's kept me going.
Bet nepaisant to, aš visada tai padarydavau, niekada neidavau į kompromisus dėl jos.
Harinam, 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 eva kevalam, karo nasteva, 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 katiranyata. Not a permanent situation that my only sadhana was just japa, but some situations there was no other time.
Tai netrunka visą laiką, kai mano vienintelė sadhana buvo džiapa, bet yra taip nutikę gyvenime.
And I think also the answer to Jasoda's question is it's like sometimes you're in a situation where you're just not feeling well. You can't really do much and you have to take care of yourself and you just have to acknowledge I'm not going to be able to do much today because I'm sick and I have to rest. And you just, once you accept it, you make that adjustment. Okay, I'm not going to breathe, So life is like that. It adjusts you. It forces you. But your rounds, always your rounds.
Būna laikotarpių, kai jūs tiesiog blogai jaučiatės ir, reikia prie to prisitaikyti, tai jūs negalite ten skaityti ar kažko labai tarnauti, bet tiesiog kartokite džiapą.
Yeah. Can you send me that quote, Nadia? Email it to me. I'll make a video out of this topic. Navigate the storms. Okay, there's more, but I think that's all you get this week.
Gurudev, we have 2 more quite good ones, so perhaps.
Okay, go for it. Go for it.
But we have one live one Mataji would like to ask you personally.
Okay.
Okay, so would you please turn your microphone and then you can ask.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. I would like to ask you if my husband is not in Krishna consciousness, and so far I could see is he's not gonna give in. Like, so is it possible to stay in the marriage?
Yeah.
Ar klausimas, kad mano vyras nėra Krišnos sąmonėje ir jisai turbūt niekada ten neatsigręš, tai ar įmanoma išlaikyti tokią santuoką, išsaugoti?
General answer is yes.
Bendras atsakymas yra taip,
But it depends how much of a fanatic you are.
bet priklauso, kiek fanatiška jūs esate.
If you're too fanatical, it'll be impossible.
Jeigu būsite per daug fanatiška, tai bus neįmanoma.
But if you have a good, respectful relationship and he doesn't interfere with your bhakti, then you can make it work.
Bet jeigu jūsų santykiai geri ir jis neprieštarauja jūsų bhakti, tai galima tęsti.
You just,
But
you know,
if he does, Maharaj, if he does, like, if I can hold the 4 principles, so like I'm already keeping 3, so if I can't take initiation because of the marriage.
oh, that's another question.
Gerai, jeigu aš negaliu laikytis visų 4 principų, tai ką, ir negalėsiu gauti iniciacijos.
That also becomes a problem even for devotees.
Tai yra problema ir atsidavusiems.
I think I need to talk to you personally.
Manau, kad reikia asmeniškai pasikalbėti.
So you can send a message.
Tai galite atsiųsti man žinutę.
And then
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
we'll figure it out. This is the real world, you know. It's not easy getting out of this world, is it?
Tai yra realus gyvenimas ir nelengva iš jo ištrūkti.
We have to try to work things out as best we can.
Reikia stengtis sutvarkyti reikalus taip gerai, kaip tik galime.
I mean, it's a big problem having a body. You've probably noticed.
Tikriausiai pastebėjote, kad šiaip yra didelė problema turėti kūną.
It wants to eat, it wants to sleep, it wants to have sex, it gets angry, it's jealous, it hurts, gets tired when you exercise. It's just a pain having a body.
Tai yra tikras vargas turėti kūną, jis nori valgyti, miegoti, nori sekso, reikia jam kažkaip tai treniruotis ir taip toliau.
And it's got so many desires, and then you move in with someone else who's got another body with so many desires.
Tai
And that's like a whole thing.
jūsų kūnas jau turi daug troškimų, jūs sutinkate kažką, kas irgi turi kūną ir turi daug troškimų, tai čia dar didesnė problema.
We have to figure out how to manage it all and stay Krishna conscious somehow or other.
Tai reikia surasti būdą, kaip su visu tuo tvarkytis ir likti Krišnos sąmonėje.
If you can do it when you're older, you'll be very renounced.
Ir jeigu jūs surasite tą būdą, tai kai jūs būsite vyresnio amžiaus, tai jūs labai galėsite lengvai atsižadėti.
You'll be very strong and you'll be very wise for having done it.
Jūs būsite labai išmintinga ir stipri.
And when you're 60 years old, someone's going to have the same problem and you're going to tell them how to do it because you did it.
Ir kai jums bus 60 ir kažkas ateis su tokia pačia problema, tai jūs jau žinosite, ką patirti, nes būsite tai praėjusi.
We have to talk about initiation for a minute.
Reikia apie iniciaciją pasikalbėti.
In some quarters of ISKCON, initiation is like pushed. Like if you're not initiated, you're like, you don't really count. You know, like you're not initiated, get on that bus. You know, it's not going back to Godhead. And if you are initiated, get on this bus. You know, but it's not like that.
Kai kurie ISKCON nariai, jie labai radikaliai žiūri iniciaciją, jie sako, kad jeigu jūs nebusite inicijuoti, tai jokių šansų jums sugrįžti atgal pas Dievą, bet taip nėra.
So don't think like that.
Negalvokite taip.
If you have a spiritual master, you're connected, you're chanting, you're hearing from him, he's in your heart, you're in his heart. The initiation is just a formality.
Jeigu jūs turite dvasinį mokytoją, jūs klausotės paskaitų, jūs įkvepia jis, tai jis jau yra jūsų širdyje ir iniciacija yra tik formalumas.
And in your situation, if you got initiated, it could make your relationship worse because you'd feel more guilty. It's possible.
Ir jūsų situacijoje yra taip, kad gali būti, kad jūs inicijuotumėtės ir dėl to jaustumėtės dar labiau kalta. Tai taip gali būti.
Anyway, we can discuss it more.
galime aptarti asmeniškai.
This is real life. Maybe I should write a book called Real Life 101. You know, all these questions. This is what goes on behind, you know, in everyone's home. This is what we're dealing with.
You
Tai yra
should
gyvenimo
really
realybė. Ir galbūt turėčiau parašyti knygą pavadinimu Gyvenimo realybė ir kaip su tuo tvarkytis.
Believe me, you're not the only one.
Jūs tikrai ne vienintelė su tokia problema.
If you have a body, you're dealing with it.
Jeigu turite kūną, tai turite su juo sekančias problemas.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. You're not
Hare
alone. Don't worry, you're not alone with your problem.
Nesijaudinkit, jūs tikrai ne viena.
Okay, you said you had two really powerful, important questions that if we don't ask, the universe may be annihilated. So let's go quick.
Should we really? Okay, because otherwise I could send them to you perhaps.
I'm going to do something unusual. I'm going to give short answers.
Okay, well then the shorter one, maybe. Let's take this one.
No, I can give
It
short
says
answers to long questions. Why not?
Okay, how to get out from toxic relationships.
Kaip išeiti iš toksiškų santykių?
Find the door and open it and get out of there.
Suraskite duris, išeikite pro jas ir viskas, jūs jau ten.
And if that's the second thing. The first thing you try to do is get the toxin out of the relationship.
Pirmas dalykas, ką stengiatės padaryti, tai jūs išvalyti toksinus iš santykių. Jeigu tai neveikia, tai tada ieškokite durų.
And that's the first choice.
Tai
Yeah,
pirmas pasirinkimas.
Usually going to need someone to mediate that if it's really bad to help.
Jeigu tikrai blogai, tai dažniausiai reikia tarpininko.
So that's where you start.
Tai nuo ko pradedate?
I don't want to give a general answer that everyone should leave a toxic relationship, but obviously first thing you do is try to heal it.
Tai pirmas dalykas, ką darote, jūs stengiatės juos pataisyti.
And then what you do, well, it depends. Do you have kids? You know, are you financially dependent? You know, there's so many situations.
Tai kiekviena situacija kitokia ir priklauso, ar jūs turite vaikų, ar jūs esate finansiškai priklausomas.
If you stay in the relationship, is it going to, you know, damage you physically, emotionally? You know, there's so many factors to consider.
Tai labai daug faktorių yra, ar tai, kad liksite santykiuose, grėsia jūsų sveikatai, gyvybei, jūsų emociniai geroviai ir panašiai.
But it is common in the world for women to stay in abusive relationships and continue to be abused. And so that is not good.
Bet pasaulyje yra tokia paplitusi problema, kad moteris yra linkusios būti išnaudojamos ir likti toksiškose santykiuose. Tai nėra gerai.
I have to give a short answer because I promised to give a short answer. That's a whole class in itself. But if you're not sure, then you can write me.
Jeigu nesate tikra
Answer.
dėl situacijos, tai parašykite man asmeniškai.
Next question.
Toliau.
So you ended the answer perfectly because it connects with the last question. It says how to deal with anger of men. I am a little uncomfortable with that, and I feel that I have to speak to them always softly and with great patience, as if they were children, but they are adults and should be able to behave well in social settings.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being overcome by anger and have rude actions like not saying hello, not speaking or answering badly. A woman shouldn't have to tell a man how to behave or be afraid of the way he will react.
Kaip elgtis susidūrus su vyru pykčiu? Aš dėl to jaučiuosi nepatogiai ir lyg visuomet turėčiau su jais kalbėti švelniai ir kantriai lyg su vaikais, tačiau jie yra suaugę ir turėtų gebėti gerai elgtis vietoje to, kad įtūžtų ar elgtųsi nemandagiai. Pavyzdžiui, nesisveikintų, nekalbėtų ir atsakytų nemandagiai. Moteris neturėtų nurodinėti vyrui, kaip jis turi elgtis ar bijoti jo reakcijos.
You can tell him how you feel when he gets angry.
Galite pasakyti jam, kaip jaučiatės, kai jis supyksta.
See how that works.
Ir kaip tai, pažiūrėkite, kaip tai veiks.
When you get angry, I feel like this.
Kai tu pyksti, aš jaučiuosi taip.
Of course, I don't know the situation or who the man is.
Aš nežinau nei kas tas vyras, nei kokia situacija.
But women have a powerful role in helping men.
Moterų vaidmuo yra labai svarbus padedant vyrams.
Sometimes they're the only ones who will tell the man what's wrong with him.
Kartais jos tik tai vienintelės gali pasakyti vyrui, kas su jais negerai.
Because the man's friends may not even know there's anything wrong with him.
Nes vyro draugai, jie gali net nepastebėti, kad kažkas su juo ne taip.
If you have a relationship, then you can talk.
O jeigu jūs turite artimus santykius, tai jūs galite kalbėtis.
So that's, because I don't know the people, it's so hard to say exactly what. But
Aš nežinau žmonių situacijos, tai labai sunku atsakyti.
anything you do, you want to observe Vaishnava etiquette.
Ką jūs bedarytumėte, reikėtų stengtis prisilaikyti Vaišnavo etiketo,
As far as possible.
kiek tik įmanoma.
But if if a man is abusing a woman, the woman should tell him, this is not acceptable.
Jeigu vyras blogai elgiasi, smurtauja prieš moterį, tai moteris neturėtų su tuo sutikti.
That's the best I can say for now.
Geriausia, ką galiu patarti.
You have to function also, so you need boundaries.
Jums taip pat reikia gyventi, tai reikia nubrėžti ribas.
As we used to say when we were hippies, get out of my space.
Kai būdavome hipiai, sakydavome, dink iš mano erdvės.
You're in my space, you have bad vibes, get out of my space.
Tu esi mano erdvėje ir tu vibruoji žemas vibracijas, dink iš čia.
So a polite way of saying that may be in order.
Tai galima kažkaip mandagiai pasakyti tą patį.
If a person's angry, they have personal problems. And if you can understand their problems, maybe you can help them.
Kai žmonės yra pikti dėl to, kad turi asmeninių problemų ir jeigu jūs įsigilinsite jų problemas, jūs galite jiems padėti.
Or my best strategy is carry a jar of gulab jamans. And when they're about to scream, put a gulab jamun in their mouth and they can't scream anymore.
Tai mano geriausias patarimas
Stop up that scream with a gulab jamun. It works every time.
yra nešiokite su savim kibiriuką gulab jamunų ir kai jau prasižioja rėkti, tai reikia kišti gulab jamunus į burną, kad negalėtų.
You get a gun that shoots gulab jamans and just go right up and shoot them.
O galima tokią ragatkę pasimti ir šaudyti šios gulab jamunus.
Why not? It works.
Gal visai suveiktų.
You can make a video like that, how to stop someone when they get angry, And then everybody comes and puts a gulab. It worked.
Tai nepamirškite, jeigu bandysite nufilmuoti video, kaip reikia sulaikyti baktą nuo pykčio, kaip jūs kišate gulab jamunus.
Yeah, I have this vision. We had a festival and we had huge trash cans full of gulabs. And the temple president would walk around the festival and put gulab jamans in everyone's mouth. Of course, this is in 1972, so no one cared. He'd just walk around, open your mouth. And he would. So that's where my vision of that idea comes from.
Mes turime puikių pavyzdį, ten buvo 72-aisiais toks festivalis, mes turėjome pilnus kibirus gulab jamunų ir šventyklos prezidentas tiesiog vaikščiojo ir visiems į burnas kišo tiesiai jas.
Yes, Gopinath. When you're feeling low, what's that song? I'll be there. Yeah. When you're feeling down and low, gulabs will be there for you. That's all you need is gulabs.
Čia daina apie gulab jamunus, kaip padeda pykčiui kontroliuoti.
Prabhupada had a jar of sweet balls, and it's like, keep all the new hippies, like of just giving up drugs, keep them, sane. It's just like, here, take us anytime you want, take a sweet ball. Did you know that?
Ar žinote, kad Šrila Prabhupada turėjo visą laiką stiklainių su gulab jamunais ir jis taip juos dalindavo hipiam, kai patekdavo į tam tikras situacijas.
They went from marijuana and LSD to milk and butter and sugar. It worked.
Čia kai norėdavo juos atjunkyti nuo priklausomybės nuo narkotikų, LSD, marihuanos, tai jis pripratindavo juos prie pieno ir cukraus.
So, like a bridge over troubled water. That's the song. Like a bridge over troubled water, your gulabs will be there. Yeah. I forget how it goes. It's too long ago. Anyway, it actually works, Gopinath. Try it out, see what happens.
Tikrai veiks, pabandykit.
Okay, we're going to go because I have a feeling this class will never end and I'm really hungry right now.
Man atrodo, kad šita paskaita niekad nesibaigs ir aš tikrai alkanas turiu eiti.
So,
Thank you so
Nadia,
much, Gurudev, for your time
can
and
you do me
for
a favor
giving us
and
your time.
can you do me a favor and find out what time the class tonight is with the Chinese?
I think it's 6 p.m.
Because they don't
Your
have
time.
daylight savings. Can you double check?
Well,
Normally 6, but with daylight it may be 7. You can just send me a message.
Okay.
Nice to see everyone. Now it's your last chance to show your lotus face before I go.
Tai dabar tikrai jau paskutinis šansas, įsijunkit kameras. Hare
Gurudev,
Krishna.
can I quickly invite them to your classes very quickly in Lithuanian?
Yeah, do whatever you want. Yeah.
Okay. Tai labai ačiū visiems susirinkusiems ir tiesiog norėčiau pasakyti, kad Guru Maharaj veda pamokas Facebook'e kiekvieną dieną, išskyrus antradieniais. Ir taip pat pirmadienį, trečiadienį ir penktadienį turi džepo sesijas, tai mes tiesiog visi susitinkam per Zoom ir kartu kartojam džepą. Tai jeigu norit prisijungti, visa informacija yra jo puslapį angliškai arba lietuviškam Facebook'e. I'm dead, Gurudev.
Okay. Nice to see you all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
His Grace Mahatma Prabhu ki jai.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.
Hare Krishna.
You all.